Good morning, students. Welcome back to my channel. Today, in this video, I will revise the chapter that is the clouds. Okay, so without any delay, let's get started. First of all, we will come to know the definition of cloud. Well, what is cloud? Clause is a group of related words that contains at least one subject and one verb and is used as a sentence or part of a sentence. Another definition of the clause it is when a clause has complete meaning on its own, it can be used as a sentence. But when it has incomplete meaning, it is used as a part of sentence. Look at the examples below. He is a news reporter. Another example, she loves music. When a clause has its complete meaning on its own, it can be used as a sentence. So, first two examples that it has given in the first slide, it is it is a clause that had complete meaning. Another third and fourth example that it is given where he stayed and who lives next to my house. These are the example that had incomplete meaning, so that's why it is used as a part of a sentence. Types of clause. Well, there are two types of clauses, independent clause or we can say main clause and dependent clause, also called subordinate clause. Now the meaning, the word subordinate, that means something that under control. Independent, that means independent, it is mean also called main clause or principal clause. Another dependent clause, it is also called subordinate clause or subclause. Now the basic, there are difference between the phrase and the clause. Well, what is phrase? Phrase, it is a group of words that does not have a subject and a verb. Example, my neighbor's dog. Okay, well, it is a phrase which makes incomplete sense. But while in a clause, it is a noun plus verb, it may or may not be sentence. Example, my neighbor's dog left me a present. Well, the clause there must be a subject, finite verb, and also rest of the part predicate. So that's the difference between the phrase and the clause. Now, first of all, we will discuss about independent clause. An independent clause has a subject and a verb and an stand alone as a sentence. For example, they work in marketing department. What product are they going to launch this year? The company didn't perform well last year. What shall we do? So these are the examples that show independent clauses. Independent clause had complete meaning. Independent clauses. An independent clause express a complete thought and can stand alone as a sentence. Notice that Dirk expresses himself with two independent clauses. Here, this boy named it Dirk, and he is trying to say that I don't need you, I don't need anybody. So all these two sentences, it had independent clause. That means it expresses a complete thought and can stand alone as a sentence. Dependent clause. Well, a dependent clause has a subject and a predicate. Now, what is subject and predicate? Subject, each and every single sentence, there is a subject as well as predicate. Subject, and after subject, there is a verb, and rest of the part it is called predicate. But it cannot stand alone as a sentence. There are three types of subordinate clauses: noun clauses, adjective clauses, and adverb clauses. Dependent clause. Dependent clause contains a subject and a verb, but it does not express a complete thought. It cannot stand alone as a sentence. Here now these two persons, they are having conversation with each other that how much money did you say you make? Because I cannot stand alone, I need you, Daphne. So because I cannot stand alone, this is a clause, dependent clause. Because this sentence in when this sentence it doesn't make sense until and unless we use this clause to make a sentence. Dependent clause first is noun clause. A noun clause is a subordinate clause used as a noun. For example, another definition we can say a noun clause it is a group of words which contains a subject and a predicate of its own and does the work of a noun. Example, what you have proposed is acceptable. Tell me what your marketing strategy are. So these two clauses, what you have proposed and what your marketing strategy are, these are dependent noun clauses. Another clause that is adjective clauses. An adjective clause it is a subordinate clause that modifies a noun or a pronoun. For example, the man who is standing over there is a product development manager. His team has come with products that have more features for customer. So these two clauses, who is standing over there and that have more features for customer, are called adjective clauses because it does the work of a adjective. That is why it is called an adjective clause. Another dependent clause that is an adverb clause. An adverb clause it is a subordinate clause that modifies a verb, an adjective or an adverb. It tells when, where, how, why, to what extent or under what condition. For example, if the products are fit for the customer, we will maintain sales increase of 10%. There will be some promotion when the new products are available. So these lines that is printed in bold font, if the products are fit for the customer when the new products are available, these are called adverb clauses because these clauses it has subject as well as verb and as well as phrase. If, the, and when the, these are called the subject. So these three subordinate clause we have discussed in this video, like adjective clause, noun clause and adverb clause. And there are two type of clause, principal clause, another name we can say main clause or independent clause, and another clause its name is subordinate clause or dependent clause. Now there are some important points that we should always remember, that independent clauses can stand alone as fully functioning sentence, where dependent clause do not communicate a complete thought. They do not make sense by themselves because they are incomplete. That's the difference between independent clause and dependent clause. Dependent clauses begin with words like although, before, because, so that, when, while, so and that. Example, although it was dangerous. So it is an example of dependent clause. So that's enough for today. I have discussed the chapter that is the clause. I think you will not face any difficulty in this chapter clauses. Thank you.